How's it going on YouTube? How are you guys? So I just want to talk about this real quick. We're going to be talking about trusting God in your single season. You see, oftentimes many followers of Christ, many of us, we are waiting on God for a spouse. Many people are probably looking forward to God to give them a spouse. Many of you guys probably prayed to God for a spouse. And many of you guys are probably asking God for marriage. And asking God, when will my single season be over? And guys, in this walk with God, we just have to remain patient. Because we just have to stay trusting God. I know it's not always easy. I know sometimes it's difficult. But God knows what's best for us. And sometimes, many people, they often are waiting on God for a spouse. But in order to get a spouse, you got to first make sure that you're ready. Alright, because many people, they ask God for something. But God can give you something, but are you fully prepared for it? Because if God gives you something, you're not prepared for it, you're going to end up destroying it or end up losing it. See, many people, they asking God for a spouse, but you got to be fully adequate. You got to be fully prepared, equipped as a man, as a woman, when God give you a spouse. Because when you have a spouse, you got to know how to treat that person. And you got to know how to also keep God first in your life, because sometimes people, they'll start idolizing marriage. But nevertheless, you got to make sure that you know how to take care of yourself first before you take care of anybody else. Many people, they often look towards other people to take care of them, to love them instead of loving themselves first. You gotta love God first, then you gotta have self-respect for yourself. Cause many people, they're looking towards other people to fulfill them, but you gotta be first fulfilled in yourself. You gotta be fulfilled in God first, because other person, they can only bring so much. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a man, for example, you asking God for a spouse, for a wife, you got to make sure you're ready as a man. You got to make sure you know how to take care of yourself as a man. Make sure you got a job or a business. Make sure you know how to stand in business, how to lead a household. Because the Bible makes it clear, man is the head. So you got to know how to lead a woman. Remember, she going to lead, you're going to be leading her. The Bible makes it clear about the order. God first, then man, then woman, then children. That's the order according to the Bible. So you got to know how to lead her as a man. You got to know how to take care of her, provide for her, protect her. And same thing if you're a woman. Woman, you got to know how to submit to a man. Because the Bible said, wives, submit to your husbands. You got to make sure you don't come to no man with no nasty attitude and all that. Because you can ask God for that. But if you got a nasty attitude, that man ain't going to stay with you. No good man, no decent, godly man going to want to stay with you if you got a bad attitude. They're not going to want to deal with you. Because you're just going to ruin their whole day. And regardless, we just got to trust God in the single season, guys. Because oftentimes as human beings, we have emotions, we have feelings, We all have sexual desire. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to say openly, we all got desire for opposite gender. You're a heterosexual person, it's natural. Ain't nothing wrong with it. God created those feelings in you for a reason. God put those feelings in you for a reason. You're a man, when you say beautiful woman, you feel a certain type of way, that's for a reason. That's natural. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You're a woman, you see a man that you like, there ain't nothing wrong with that. God put those feelings in us for a reason. God created, he created intercourse himself. Oftentimes the world, they try to corrupt intercourse with all these demonic rap videos and all these women showing off their whole skin in the video and all that. They try to corrupt marriage and all that. They try to corrupt intercourse, but intercourse is something designed to be beautiful. It was designed by God to be between man and woman, to be in a marriage. It was designed for good, but you see, human being Satan, he influenced many people to take what was meant for good by God. Now, many people use it for wickedness. They use it to promote lust. They use it to promote sexual morality. They use it to promote stuff that's just not of God. And, many of us, we all waiting on God for a spouse. Cause even I'm waiting. Cause I'm in my early 20s. I ain't got nobody. I'm single myself. So, many of us, we trusting God for a spouse. We trusting God in a single season. And I could be honest with you, in this walk with God, especially when you being a single man, especially when you're in your early 20s like me, when you're young, your testosterone is pumping. Sometimes when you walk in the streets, if you're in a big city, especially a big city like Houston, New York, LA, you can often see many beautiful women in the streets, and, it could be very tempting. Because you're just like, oh my gosh, because you probably see all these couples walking around holding hands, all these couples, something probably kissing in public, and you're just like, God, when I'm tired of waiting, when will I get love? And, we just got to keep trusting God, because as a man, I could be fully honest with you. Best believe it sometimes get hard for me as a man too, to even trust God in my single season, because you see so many beautiful women, and if you a man, as men, many of us, we attracted to women, and we all got different types of women we like. Some of you men probably like skinny women, some like curvy, some just like medium size, some men like women with a certain lips, a certain hair type, a certain height probably. And we all got different women that we like, but nevertheless, as men, I think we can all agree that we like beautiful women. Now, what you find beautiful might be different than what I find beautiful. You might like a woman who's skinny. That might be your version of beautiful. Well, me, I prefer a woman who's more curvier, on the curvy side. But nevertheless, we just gotta keep trusting God in this single season, because it could be hard. You see many people, they walk around, they holding hands. You see married couples online, they probably get married. They're posting their wedding pictures. They're posting them proposing to their wife, to their husband. And when you see that stuff, some people could feel some type of way like, God, I can't do this no more. And oftentimes, that's what you see some Christians, they often give up on God and they go into the world and they start dating these worldly people. But the issue is, when you start dating all these worldly people, they end up messing your life up, because you're over here. You used to the principles of God. You used to living holy for God. You used to following God. So you take up a person who's worldly, they gonna end up messing your whole day up, messing your whole walk with God up, because now they don't know nothing about God. They can't strengthen you. They can't do nothing for you. If you're a woman, if you try and date some worldly man, think you could try and change him around, it ain't gonna happen. He gotta learn to change on his own. God gotta change him. You can't try to change somebody, especially a person who don't want to be changed. You try to date this worldly man, you think his mind probably focused on football and basketball and going to a club. You think many of them, they're not worried about God. Same thing, a lot of men, Christian men, who try to date these worldly women. They probably focus on all these stuff like reality TV shows, and when they gonna get their next hair done, and they gotta have long nails, and the summer coming up, hot girl summer. Many of them, they're not focused on God. So you just gotta stay focused on yourself as a man, because you try to date these worldly women, it's going to end up destroying your walk with God. You're just going to end up being destroyed. The Bible makes it clear. The Bible makes it clear that you have to be equally yoked. If you're not equally yoked, God ain't in it. You got to be equally yoked for a person. If you love God, that person got to love God too. If you live in a holy and righteous lifestyle for God, that person got to be living a holy and righteous lifestyle for God too. It can't just be one person is doing all the work and the next person just they could care less. No, it gotta be equal yoke both parts. It gotta be equal yoke on both ways. And guys, we just have to always just keep trusting God, because when we trust God, when we wait on God, the wait is worth it. Because you're gonna end up getting the best in the end. God gonna give you the best according to His will. He gonna give you the best person that's gonna love you for you. So you going out dating all these different people, it's not gonna make sense, because you're gonna end up getting hurt in the end, because eventually the relationship not gonna work out, because the only relationships that work is God ordained relationships. And the relationship ain't ordained by God, eventually it's gonna fail. I'm just being honest. Eventually it's gonna fail. Eventually it's gonna collapse. Eventually you guys gonna probably end up arguing with each other, fighting, all types of stuff. So that's why it's always best to wait on God, because when you wait on God, you're gonna get His best. And you ain't gotta worry about this person doing you like this, doing that. Because even though that person won't be perfect, God gonna give you the best person that's gonna match you. That's gonna match you great. You know what I'm saying? When God gonna give you a person who gonna you guys are gonna help strengthen each other and grow together in God. And the best thing is, you guys have God in your relationship. So when you have God in the midst of your relationship, you're not gonna fail, because the Bible makes it clear, who God put together and no man separate. Nobody can separate a God ordained couple, because that was signed off. That's signed off in heaven. That type of relationship is in heaven. God already ordained that from the foundation of the earth. That's why you should always seek your God. When you asking God for a spouse, ask God to lead you to your God ordained spouse, because you see, often Satan will try to send many different people your way to try and lead you away from God, and he'll try to send counterfeits your way, people who are not of God, people who look like the real blessing from God, but they're not. So that's where you gotta have keen discernment. When you're waiting on God, it's gonna be worth it in the end. No matter if you wait 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, it's gonna be worth it in the end. Because you try and go out on your own, yeah, you could probably go out and marry some person tomorrow. Yeah, of course. There's so many people around, of course, but the problem is the relationship going to end up failing. That's why you see many of these people in Hollywood, they get married one day, then they divorce like 1, 2, 3, 4 years later. Like most marriages, especially nowadays, don't even last more than 5 years. So, because many people, they doing their own thing. That's why it's very important. You don't want to be that person who's on their 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th marriage, man. Come on, that's a lot of heartache. That's a lot of soul ties with different people. You don't want all that stuff on you. It's best to just wait for God for the best from the beginning. And especially if you're a young person like me, you might find waiting on God harder, because you got all these young people in your age. Especially if you're a young man like me, you probably got all these young girls that's very attractive. Especially if you probably see them at the workplace, school, college, on the street. So it could be hard, but you just gotta keep trusting God, because the wait is gonna be worth it. We all got natural affection. We all got, those sexual feelings that God put inside of us is natural. But we gotta learn how to contain it. We gotta learn how to resist the thoughts, resist temptation, flee from sexual immorality. And you gonna want people gonna love you for you, and more importantly, love God. Cause a real God-ordained relationship, they gonna love God more than they love themselves. They gonna love God more than they love you, and that's the best thing, because they got God in the principles. When you both follow on God, your relationship is not gonna be destroyed. Satan can't destroy it, because you guys are both on the principles of God. You guys know what God requires of you. You know what to do the will of God. You know not to follow after a world. Because the world will bring nonsense your way. The world will talk about, oh, you gotta have this type of relationship. You gotta have this type of marriage. No. You do it the biblical way. You do it the way God wants it. You don't follow this world. Because you can see the world is in turmoil. God is worldly people and give people advice about marriage and all that. But yet, half of them not married. That don't make no sense. You got all these worldly dating coaches online, on YouTube, and TV shows and all that. They giving advice. But half of them not even married. How you giving married advice, you not even married? How you giving married advice and you divorced? That just don't make no sense. You and like your fourth, fifth divorce. You and your fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth marriage. But you want to give advice? Like, come on, man. Your relationships are failing. You keep having a relationship fail. So how you gonna give people advice? You could probably get advice for people who are divorced and they're hurting, but for people who are you can't. Or for people who are about to be in their first marriage, because even you are not married, or you probably not even. You probably in different. You and your fourth, fifth for marriage. So it would make no sense for you to be going around giving people advice. Got all these worldly demonic dating shows try to give people dating advice, and half them women in them shows like Real Housewives and all this nonsense. Half them not even married. Half them are in boyfriend, girlfriend for years and they can't even get married. Half them can't even get a man to commit to them. So how you gonna give people dating relationship advice? That still make no sense. Come on, people. That's like a person trying to teach you how to drive and they never driven a car before. Would you take advice from a person? Definitely not. You're going to end up crashing a car. So why would you take dating advice and advice from people who are not even married or people who are in like their fifth or sixth marriage? That don't make no sense. Be smart, guys. Be keen. That's what the Bible says. Don't follow the ways of this world. Because you keep following the ways of this world, you end up being doomed for destruction. You end up heading down a path that just leads you nowhere. See, so many people in the world, they're just going in circles and circles and circles and circles. Because their life not directed by God. So they date all these people and they get all these people wasting their time. Many women and men been in their fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth relationship in probably 1 year. Like, come on, that just shows me you don't even know what you're even doing yourself. So it's best you let God direct you himself, because even you don't know what you're doing. Got you over here on your 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th relationship in a 2-year span. Like, come on. You might as well let God direct your life, because you don't even know what you're doing. You confuse yourself. So, guys, just keep trusting God in this single season. I know it could be rough. I know it could be hard. I could speak from a man's perspective. As a man, especially when you see beautiful women, you get certain feelings. You know what those feelings are as a man. And it could be hard to contain it, but you just got to keep, you got to learn to keep those feelings on. You got to subject those feelings. You got to learn to keep them under control. So that when God blesses you with that, with your, I'm speaking from a man's perspective once again. When God blesses you with your goddamn wife, guess what? You saved yourself for so many years. You remain clean. You remain sexually pure. So now when you get married to that person, you can have all the fun you want together. You could be as intimate. You guys could be intimate together. Now, of course, you keep the marriage bed. You don't defile the marriage bed, but you guys can have you guys can have fun together. You guys can be intimate with one another. Same thing if you're a woman. Save yourself, because that's how when God bless you with that God-ordained husband, you guess what? You saved yourself for so many years that now you guys get to finally have fun together in marriage. Have fun in the bedroom. Have fun, together, do fun activities together as couples, as a married couple, do fun activities, go outside, watch a movie, you can spice up your relationship. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind, guys. Just keep waiting on God for the best. You don't want people going to waste your time. You want God's best, because God's best is always going to be best for your life. And God's best will help lead you down the right path. You're not going to have nobody wasting your time and bringing you in circles. So, guys, just keep trusting God in your single season, all right? Have a blessed day.